All right, all right, all right.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Paige. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's
Good
going on
morning,
with you?
Facebook. Nothing much. It's Testimonial Tuesday today.
It surely is.
You know what I'm saying? So, somebody got some testimonies for us this morning. If you do, call in 727-686-0512. We definitely want to hear your story. If it's too cold for you to open your lips, just let us know because we know it's pretty cold out there. We know people think it's going to heat up, but or think that it's a little warm out today, but you're going to get a rude awakening.
you know,
You're going to get a
um,
damn rude awakening, okay?
Today, yeah, it's a little chilly today. Let me hit y'all with the weather this morning. It is currently 49 with the high. It's gonna get up to 71, so it's gonna warm up.
It might.
With the high is 71. Um, our Charleston viewers, it's 45 with a high of 63. So it's warming up a little bit there too. I dread seeing what Chicago's gonna be. Chicago's 32 with a high of 37. Um, Arizona is 43 with a high of 71. So they on par with us. And Los Angeles is 47 with a high of 68.
Wow.
Um, so we have some pretty good weather. We have 71 coming today. So it's one of those. This is like my least favorite time of year because it'd be like winter
Right,
in
right.
the morning and spring in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And nobody has time for that. So my recommendation to you though is to not change with the weather. Changing with the weather will get you sick. So I always recommend wearing, a sweatshirt or long sleeves or something to where you can just roll up your sleeves during the afternoon when it gets a little warm. But I don't recommend changing with the weather. That's the first way to get sick. So
The first way.
yeah,
Okay.
don't do that. Don't, you know, don't let's see. All right. But yeah, so that's my recommendation for you guys. Let's look at what the traffic is looking like today.
What that traffic out there looking like?
I
Cause
would imagine that traffic is getting. Ooh, well, never mind. Police activity on Nebraska near water. Southbound lanes are blocked. One northbound lane getting through. They said avoid that area for now. Um, on the Veterans, there's a accident reported southbound on the Veterans before Van Dyke. In Manatee, there's a crash with a roadblock on 70 at 75. Left turn lane is impacted. And then um, 2 hours ago, there was some activity on the shoulder of the northbound lanes of the Skyway Bridge. And in Polk County, there was a hit and run. So it's a lot of
what?
activity happening this morning.
What?
Yeah, so you guys just be careful, man.
A hit and run?
Yeah, yeah, hit and run. So just be careful. Um,
In
y'all,
in this weather, people done
thank
people
you
done
for
hit
tuning in,
somebody and
Marvin.
done slid on them.
So yeah, I
You ever been hit and ran before?
me,
Yeah.
yes,
Somebody hit you and ran.
yes. In 2017, when I was it 2017? Either it was 27. Yeah, it was August of 2017. I was headed home from work. It was a Friday because I was doing my paparazzi Fridays every Friday.
Right, right.
And so I was headed from work and I was at the light on 49th Street in Almerton.
Okay, okay.
And I was getting ready to turn on 49th Street.
Vivid memories.
And next thing you know, ambulance was coming and it was coming down 49th Street. I was on Almerton turning on 49th. So it was a green light. So we had to stop. And the person behind me ran in the back of me.
What?
And so we were right by that shell over there. And I see them like trying to go over there. So I'm like following over there thinking that we're going to stop and like try to, exchange information. And they run.
Really?
Yeah. So then the crazy thing is like when
That's
I
wild.
called the cops, they were like that particular area, depending on where the accident happened, it's 3 different jurisdictions.
Right.
So they couldn't figure out which cops that needed to respond. Luckily, like the way that it hit me, man, it was crazy. The way that it hit me, I thought that the back of my car was like tore up,
Right.
but there was no damage.
No.
None.
Just a hard
The
hit,
thing
but
that I have to say I like about Nissan cars is that they square out the back. And so because they square out the back, if you're hit, it's less likely to cause a whole bunch of damage. So like when you have that rounded out back, you're going to have a dented bumper. But because they square out the back, when I was hit, it didn't do anything. So I think I may have had like a small little mark. So that happened. And then just recently in 2020, I was in North Carolina. We were driving at night and we were on the interstate. And next thing you know, we got hit. And the car just kept going. It was a pickup truck. They just kept going.
Wow.
And I'm like, I kept trying to figure out, like, how did they hit us? Because it just literally came out of nowhere. So based on the impact, I was able to deduce that. Good morning, everybody. I was able to deduce that they hit us. They were trying to get over. You know how people be getting over real close to you? I think because our car was black, they didn't have their lights on. They underestimated how close they were to us.
Yep.
And they hit us like that. They hit us like on the side because that's what most of the damage was. That was scary. Imagine like driving down the highway, you halfway asleep, and next thing you know, you just hear, oh my God.
Well, I mean, it could have like it hit y'all a little end piece, but it could have spent you. You know what I'm saying?
That was so scary. Let me tell you, when I say I was so shook, but I was like, thank you, God. Like,
and you
my
weren't
God.
driving. Right?
No, I wasn't driving.
Yeah, so it was like extra.
It was on my side, too.
Oh, Lord.
So, and the crazy thing is, I was sleeping and I had just had this crazy vision of us getting hit. Like,
Girl,
that's the crazy part.
You know,
And
manifest a
dream.
damn
I wasn't trying to.
accident.
I wasn't trying to. And when it happened, I felt so bad. I was like, I think it caused it. I think it's my fault.
It's your fault.
I
Psychic.
mean, I did.
Psychic
I
ass.
was involved, right? I was involved with a hit, and the person ran. We were stopped. We was right on 18th, and I was turning on to maybe 28th or so. I'm not sure. But the lady hit me really hard. It was like a small little car, but my back was squared out as well, so it was really no damage. But the way she hit it, you would have thought it was some
You would
damage.
think the whole back is in the front.
So the lady, she wasn't paying attention to me, stopped and getting ready to turn because I had my indicators on and everything. So she hit me hard. Next thing I know, I hear her say, "I'll be back."
Not I'll be back.
It was boom. I'll be back.
Not I'll be back.
That's what she said. Hey, she ain't never come back. I ain't seen that lady.
I would have shot at her ass.
She yelled out, well, "I'll be back."
You be right, guy. You coming back with this gunshot coming at them tires. You ain't going no damn well, okay, lady?
Me and my best friend Keita, man, we still laugh about that to this day.
Y'all couldn't run her down? Y'all couldn't chase her down?
We was just the fact that she just was like, "I'll be back." He was like, "Hell no."
That sound like something I would have seen on the movie or something.
Listen,
You know what I'm
hit us
saying?
So hard. Boom, hopped into another lane. "I'll be back."
Okay. I'm sure you will.
She'll be back. She had an air in the room.
That's crazy,
And
man.
it was not
Right.
it was not nowhere you was going.
No, not at all.
I was talking to the cop and I said, I was like so mad. I was like, the person probably didn't have insurance and blah, blah. He was like, "Nah, believe it or not, they probably do." He was like, a lot of people, even with insurance, will hit you and run
And hit you and run.
and keep it going.
Because they don't want to have to pay no deductible for no fender bender. You got to come out of pocket for that fender bender.
I mean,
want a
insurance
deal,
is
huh?
highway robbery. I ain't gonna lie. It is highway robbery.
It's definitely highway robbery, man.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case insurance.
Yeah, it's better like how we talk about health insurance, car insurance.
And when we
same
talk
thing.
about it is what it is, boy.
But at least car insurance is cheaper than health insurance. Health insurance is tripping.
Man, all the insurance is a game. It's a long con, but
Now, I will say insurance has
You
come in
need it.
handy for me. The one time I got into an accident,
Or a car broken down, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So
it comes in
when
handy.
things happen like that, I'm like, damn, I'm so glad I do got it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it's
But,
crazy.
that payment every month.
look here, man. Look here. If
Wow.
y'all ever know what SR22
No, thank
FR
you.
44 is,
So those are all the, you don't have some issues,
Yeah.
some habitual stuff going on.
yep,
You got-
yep. So
No
you,
thanks.
what happens
Ooh,
is
that's
if you
like
get
a lot of money.
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. You come out here and you driving on suspended license a couple times and you done hit somebody or you run a couple red lights or stop signs. Boy, you gonna be paying some money for some insurance. You hear me? I just had to pay over. I think I just paid over $1,800 for insurance.
Oh,
Man.
For
Well, I mean,
well, you have to pay all at one time. When you got this, when you have this,
You have to
insurance.
pay it
to
all
get
at
this-
one
Oh,
time.
when you have that specific insurance.
when you have this
Oh.
SR22 and
Oh.
FR44 insurance, you don't
Gotta
get
pay
the
all in.
option to pay monthly or nothing like that. You got to pay
no.
a lump sum, and then you got to get over $100,000 worth of coverage,
What?
personal coverage.
What?
Because
Yeah.
you a liability.
Yep, yep,
Well,
yep, yep.
I can understand that if you ever been in the car with Forex, Tony.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
now that I know, remind me to never ride with you.
Well, that's why we got two cars. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no problem. You know, you can get there, and I'm gonna get there a little ahead of you. That's all. I'll be waiting on you.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? To get there,
You
but
teleport there.
I definitely get there as
He's
soon
not
as
out there,
possible.
He get there.
I get there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So, but at the end of the day,
If I do ride with you, just get the blindfold, because wake me up when we there.
yeah, because it's going to be a nice little trip. Exciting. It's going to be exciting. You ever have an exciting trip
Oh, Lord.
to the store? Or
Don't be holding no
I want
coffee.
Somewhere.
No juice. No, don't hold nothing
It's
in
a-
your
I want
hand.
a safe trip to
it's a very exciting trip
Man, look.
when you ride. You get the, and then
Did
then
he
it's,
tell you the passenger be hitting the brakes and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's,
you
I
know.
told you it's like you driving your own little bumper car when you're in there. You got your little fake steering wheel or your little brake over there. And when we driving,
GTA all day.
and when we driving, you think I'm finna hit this car, but I be just swerving on out the lane, going over to the next
I
one.
never understood people that ride up on a car. You see that it's
I don't
going
like
slow.
that.
Like, why you?
That
That's
drives me
not going to make them
crazy.
go faster because you on their tail. I don't.
That drives me crazy. Now I will.
Yes,
say,
it does.
I will
It
say
helps
when-
get their ass out of the lane.
No.
Sir.
Right.
It
No.
do.
I will
No.
say when I'm traveling, like long distance, and you get that one grandpa that decides he want to be in the fast lane.
Yeah, don't be supposed
Oh,
to.
you
like,
got a problem with grandpa.
Sir, get out! I be
Because
wanting
you're
to
supposed
honk
to
the
move
horn.
over. When you're on the highway,
Yes.
you're supposed to move
You
I
over.
got-
want to
see?
honk the horn so
See
bad,
what
like
I'm
Not
saying?
you,
get out of
the
my
person.
way.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Paige is a road rage too.
I know
when
my
she get
road
in the-
rage,
get
my
down the
road
street.
rage has
She got to get out the
gotten
neighborhood.
better.
She had to get out the neighborhood before she go to road
No,
raging.
listen.
You heard what she said. When I get on the highway, this one little man be driving,
Old and-
I just get so frustrated with him.
My
It's
road
3 other
rage
lanes
has
out there,
gotten
but you know what?
better.
I had to ride up on that old man tail, but I just couldn't help
Let 'em
myself.
know.
That's one day. That's one time I just had to do it.
No, I used to have bad road rage. It's gotten so much better. Like it's to the point where now people be like, "You driving?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "Oh, I'm used to you cursing and acting a
Oh,
fool and screaming and yelling and all of this." But now I'm just like, I ain't got time for this. And people can't hear me. And I'm just stressing myself out. Like, they do get on my nerves. Now, there are some times where somebody will, like, cut me off or something. And, yeah, that just makes me mad. But after watching this movie, I cannot remember the name of the movie, but we watched it during, like, in November. It's with Russell Crowe.
Mhm.
After you watch that movie, you will be the nicest person on the road ever, okay?
People crazy.
This man, I cannot remember if she cut the man off or he cut her off or she honked her horn. I think she honked her horn at him or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he pulls up to the light and asks her to put the window down or whatever. Ask her son to put the window down. The son put the window down and he was like, could you be more polite or something like that? And she was like, I'm having a bad day, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you know what? I'm having a bad day too. I apologize. Why don't you just apologize? And we just go on about our business.
See,
And she didn't want to apologize. And when I say he made her life a living hell,
I figured that's what's gonna
because
happen.
she didn't want to apologize,
Oh Lord,
he made.
tormented the lady. Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Near killed her. For
I
her
cannot remember the name of the movie. But let me tell you, after that, that will make you be the nicest person in the world.
Well, you know, I
on
mean,
the
you
road.
see the YouTube videos where the people fighting, you know, cut them off, or you know, the road rage just done got out of hand. You done got out your car. Yeah, you see that a lot. You do have to be careful because people crazy, like I said.
Yep.
Hey, look here, you cut me off, man. I'm coming following your ass. I'm gonna follow you to the 7-Eleven, and we're gonna have some words. We're gonna have some words, okay?
No, because
You better
people
not
are crazy.
cut
They'll
me off.
shoot you and stuff. So
Huh?
no, people will shoot. Like especially in Florida. Come on now, y'all know the people crazy. Like there have been.
They are not the
reports-
only ones that have guns.
There have been reports where people have followed people or things like that and got shot. So
Y'all
in-
just
in
don't
the
wanna
grand
see me get
scheme of
shot?
things,
Oh,
it's
that's so
really not worth
sweet.
it.
Y'all don't want to see me get shot. That's sweet, cause boy, I will go.
It's not
Ham.
worth it. It's really not.
It's not worth it. But I mean, I
Honk
will
your
say.
horn.
Honk your horn.
You know?
I will say, like, okay, you know, when people are about to cause an accident, it does anger you because it's like you're literally putting my life in danger. Like that's so I get the anger, but it has to stop. Like there's levels to it. There's limits to it.
It's a lot of energy pulling
Yeah.
over, getting that, beating them up.
Ain't that much energy.
I'm just saying, your life could change because of that crazy.
Because of that, exactly. And, you know, like you just say what you need
Right,
to
and all
say
you
and
was
keep
trying
it
to do
moving.
was go get some Douce.
That's all I was trying to do. Get some Douce, man. Some go out to the store. You trying to get grapes and greens, and you go out and you get a you know
All right,
you go out and get
go
a
to
damn
jail
yeah
just like
yes.
fighting.
You go out and get a charge. Is what you go out and get.
Yeah,
So, did you watch Power, sir,
Did I watch Power?
last night?
that's what your.
No, I didn't get to watch
You are holding
Power.
us
I was
up.
watching football, and last night was today is Reno birthday. Brother Reno,
Oh yeah, we do got.
and so we hung out a little bit last night. So I did not get a chance to watch the Power episode.
Watch it tonight.
But what we can do
you're
is we
holding
can
us
watch
up.
it tonight. I will watch it tonight, and then we can Wisdom Wednesday it tomorrow.
We converse about it.
Definitely can talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll check it out today because I have some a little time. I think I'm gonna take a little peek at it today and see what happened, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. Cause I'm so ready to talk about this Power with y'all. Cause y'all are so excited about this episode
It's just good.
that
I mean, the season,
you know,
the season,
is the season almost over?
It's over.
it's over.
Oh, that was the last one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well definitely don't say nothing. Okay? Don't say nothing.
Well, guys,
Okay?
Thank you for
Don't say
Next
a thing.
page wasn't it?
today is a huge day. Just a reminder, today Georgia
Right,
is
Georgia.
voting for the
Alright.
Senate. So results start coming in at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Georgia voting for the Senate?
Yeah, they're voting for the Senate. The last
Those
two
two
Senate
seats.
seats. And so that if they win, that's gonna. I have a feeling it's gonna be 1-1. I just got a feeling it's gonna be 1-1. We need both in order to take over the Senate, have Senate majority. I just had this feeling, but I'm gonna speak it into existence that we're just gonna take the whole thing. But regardless of what's happening, it says today. This says the Senate will become more volatile regardless of today's Georgia elections. So, like, this is something I've never seen before, and like Trump is just not going down. Like he refuses. We're talking about 16 days away from the inauguration, and they have not certified the votes.
Nah.
No. They still
Dang.
out here trying to count.
They were supposed to certify the votes, I think, back in November. And then it was, we're going to do it in December. And I think For Obama, I think they said it was like they certified it right around this time.
Mhm.
But okay, now we're 16 days away. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Right.
2 weeks and 2 days. Like, what else are you going to try to do? There's nothing else. There's nothing left. Let's just move on, people.
But he wasn't coming out of there without a fight. You hear me?
He's not, and
Tooth
it's
and nail.
crazy.
Are
And
we still talking about damn Orange Man?
Yeah, we
The
talking-
Orange
This
Man.
is what's happening. I mean, it's the reality because
going
this is
on.
so. When we talk about American history, this is something that is people going to be talking about for a long time. Trump is trying to solidify himself
The Orange
in
Man.
history.
Even the
So-
fact that he was in the White House.
Right. So when we talk about so Nixon will always be remembered for Watergate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who knows what type of actual president he was, but he will always be mentioned in history for the scandal.
Right.
Right.
So sometimes, if you're not the greatest president, try to be the worst one. So Trump has definitely solidified his place in history as probably the absolute worst. Somebody was like listening to the tapes between him and the Secretary of State was like, I mean, like Watergate on steroids, basically.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So this man is like literally before our eyes trying to steal an election just with his influence and his money.
Mm.
He does not
I
want
And
mean-
to go.
someone made a great point. They were like, so the voters can't trust them, can't trust the Supreme Court, can't trust William Barr, can't trust the Senate, the Congress, blah, 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 but we supposed to trust Trump against all of those people.
Oh no.
To me, that just sounds like another Hitler slash Vladimir Putin.
Right. Just
Uh,
bad.
yeah,
All
it's
around
just-
bad.
Trying to just straight be a communist. You know, he's trying to turn us into a communist country. He wants to be a dictator. And there are some people who have drank the Kool-Aid and are allowing him to do so. And so, to me, it's scary. It's scary that he's been able to get into the minds and pockets of so many people in Congress and the Senate. And so many Republicans have basically sold their soul to him.
Well, so many politicians have sold their souls. Oh, they all sell their souls.
Yeah, but this is a whole nother level. Like when you're willing to uphold a blatant lie,
Mm-hmm.
despite your career, your family, whatever, for what? Trump lost. And so the fact that they're still standing
holding
behind
on.
him,
Yeah.
what is it that they know that we don't know?
I mean, holding dedicated.
I mean, putting your entire career on the line for one man. What is it that they know that we don't know?
A lot.
Hey, look, almost up
A
there with
lot.
Coke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brainwash.
Like
Just-
something isn't
It
making
is.
sense.
It is brainwashed.
Ooh.
People have been, conditioned. So it is what it is.
Man.
You know, something isn't making sense. So that's my whole thing is. So just, 4 p.m. is when the results, 4 p.m. Eastern time is when the results start rolling in. CNN going to be all over it and all the other stations or whatever. So I would say, just pay attention. I really doubt in the morning we'll know because I just don't even know. But, yeah, so just pay attention because this is going to really change. It's going to determine whether or not we may get another stimulus check, whether or not our student loans will be forgiven. This is a big deal. This is probably bigger than the presidential election at this point.
I mean, it was bigger than the presidential election. Oh my God.
Because we're talking about the
Because it'll
Senate.
determine a lot
Yeah.
of their things. Like,
Yeah, but these people, again, we know that the Senate. We don't even know half of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the thing is,
and still, that ain't
you
gonna
just
stop them
hope.
from
You just
making
hope that.
decisions.
You just hope that they make the right decisions. You just hope that they pick the right people, I should say, because it's 200 and some of them. You know what I mean?
Who 200 something who?
In the Senate or the
Oh
House.
no, it's 435 House members and 50 Senate members, I think, something like that. A
See
bunch.
100 people.
A bunch.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But in the Senate, so there's 2 per.
Who asked you, Paige?
Hey, I paid attention in civics class.
She knows.
I was splitting it up, okay?
I paid attention in civics. Okay. Yep.
I was-
435.
I was not studying no civics.
I sure was. I didn't pay attention to everything, but I paid attention. You know, thought it was
That was
interesting.
interesting to you.
Yeah.
We need you as a lobbyist. We need some more lobbyists around here, man.
No,
Telling y'all,
I'm not a lobbyist.
we need lobbyists.
That's not my strong suits. You know. Okay, so with that, I feel like news is light. Like everybody on vacation.
look, we went through a lot. I mean, we like in recovery mode or something.
Yes.
We just trying to, just tread light.
Yeah, the news is real light. This
I
is
was
the
actually
beginning
looking
of
at
this year.
the info that's going across the screen here. And seeing a late night host mock Trump over questionable phone calls.
Yeah,
So you
it's
know he
real
getting
light.
clowned by that with a lot of the comedians.
So I will say, so this is interesting. So Illinois has expunged 500,000 marijuana arrest records.
Wow, they need to get to mine down here in
They
Florida.
should.
So
From
they
the
said
last
they announced on New Year's Eve that the states has expunged 500,000 marijuana related.
500,000?
The move is
500,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
The move is
Half a
part
million.
of the state's 2019 bill legalizing recreational marijuana. According to ABC7 Chicago, more than 700,000 state residents are eligible to have their marijuana convictions expunged. They said on Twitter that more than 500,000 have already been expunged. He added the state will never be able to fully remedy the pain of the war on drugs, but this is a start in the right direction. We will never be able to fully remedy the depth of the damage in communities of color who have disproportionately shouldered this burden. However, we can govern with the courage to admit the mistakes of our past and the decency to set a better path forward. So Illinois joins Arizona, Mississippi, New Jersey, and Montana as states that have already legalized marijuana in some form. California, Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Nevada, New York, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Washington have all enacted legislation to expunge or seal the records of residents with low-level marijuana convictions.
That's awesome.
A 2020
Yeah, that's
analysis
good.
by the American Civil Liberties Union showed
should.
extreme racial disparities still persist. Even in states that have legalized or decriminalized marijuana, Black Americans are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana. So I think that this should go beyond marijuana. And I say this because
You think they should go to crack too?
listen to what I'm about to say. So
Crack too, Paige?
we're at the place where drug use has been medicalized.
Medicalized.
So now let's see, heroin addicts now it's the opioid addiction, and now they are putting people in like rehabs and things like that. So instead of criminalizing drug abuse and drug addiction, they're medicalizing drug addiction. So now those who are in jail for crack and heroin and all of those different things should also be able to be released from prison. Not the ones selling it, but the ones who are in possession of it. Because if now that in suburbia, all these white teens and middle class white Americans are now quote unquote victims of heroin use, crack, blah 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 blah, and instead of arresting them, you're putting them in rehab. But the black folks are all in jail for using crack and heroin. You need to expunge their records too,
Yeah, they not.
and put them in
Put 'em in
treatment
rehab,
facilities and
yeah.
not in jail.
That's true.
Because
I'm with you.
when black
When you're right.
people were on crack, it was the war against drugs. Now, white people on crack and heroin is the opioid crisis.
Right. It's a more softer.
It's the opioid
situation.
crisis.
Mhm.
So, what's the difference?
The difference is it's
Race.
skin color.
That's it.
That's what the
So
difference is.
they need to treat everyone the same. So
Yes.
with that being said, this expungement needs to go beyond just marijuana, in my opinion.
I definitely agree with what you're talking about as far as how the drugs have been used as medical um, cases, and people have been doing tests and running all these experiments and getting all this rehab and intervention and all this stuff for these other drugs, and that's only because of that. You know, it's white people, and it's white people that have the money to put their children or family members through these particular rehabs or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I believe that all of the marijuana charges should be dropped off of people's records, regardless of if they've, smoked it, soaked it, dealt it, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, these doctors are prescribing drugs to people that are, becoming addicted to these drugs, losing their families, losing their lives. In the same sense,
A lot of drug dealers too.
doctors are drug dealers too. They have no idea, what they actually be giving these people half the time and what it's going to do to the people. The effects of some of these drugs are, catastrophic to some of these people. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the side effects are worse than the dang on, what the problem is. So you giving people, and this is what I'm saying. How many people really understand pharmaceuticals and companies? Their job is not to cure anybody. It's not to fix us, right? These
To
medicines,
medicalize us.
right? The medicines are not there to fix us. So why do we continue to still take medicines like they the end all be all to our problems when it comes to health? They're not. It goes with it. It really comes with diet, right? And it's not diet. It's really just the foods
Lifestyle.
the foods that you eat, the intake that you have, eating to live and not living to eat. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that we have to think about when we're talking about medical remedies for some of the ailments, illnesses, sicknesses, viruses, diseases that we may come across. We didn't have medicine back in the day. We didn't have all these pharmaceutical drugs back in the day. We figured something out.
You had the remedies, the
You
herbal
you had grandma,
Yeah.
great grandma, and them back in the day that knew what to do when they ain't had no money for them prescriptions, for them scripts, or had no
So,
money to go
if
to the
you look
doctor.
at the like Jamaicans and Trinis and people in the West Indians, West Indies, they have a lot of herbal remedies that they still use.
Right.
Like I was sick one day and I had a friend. He's from Jamaica. He was like, just eat a whole bulb of garlic. I said, what? Talking about my breath was hot for like a
But you
week,
felt good.
but I felt wonderful. Y'all think I can ever do that again?
Talking about like the
But,
whole thing.
yes,
huh?
man.
Ooh.
Breath was hot. Like it felt like it was seeping through my pores, everything. But I felt good. I felt better. I just didn't want to talk to nobody.
Came
'Cause,
out
ooh,
all smelling like old European.
yes. But
Sorry, y'all.
and then I saw this guy on TikTok for people who were losing their sense of smell and taste and stuff due to COVID. He had different remedies that he was recommending, and people were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they were actually commenting, "This worked.
It worked.
Thanks. Like I've tried everything." So, those remedies and things they work, but our body, have gotten so accustomed to these,
The bad stuff.
the medication. And then if you even look, because so for instance, anytime you get an infection, like a respiratory infection or something, some infections can just, correct themselves, right? But if you go to the doctor every single time you have an infection, you get antibiotics, it makes you more resistant. That's why you have these strains. So now, even with COVID happening, and all of the medicines and things that people are taking, now they have the rise of the super gonorrhea, which is resistant to the biotics or antiviral medicines or whatever. But the more and more that we take these medicines, our body becomes resistant to to other things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why now we have these super STDs or super flu bugs or colds or things like that,
Yeah.
because the more that we put those antibiotics and antivirals in our body, those diseases, they mutate. It's kind of like roaches,
Yeah.
right? You use the same roach spray. After a while,
They just
it don't even
okay.
work on the roaches
Thank
no
you.
more.
The roach is
Right.
like, thank you.
Thank
I
you
was
for this
hot
little
anyway.
this little mist, because the one roach went back to the hive and it may have died, but before giving some of it to like the babies, and now the babies are built with that, their immune system is able to kind of
Resist it.
fight against that. So it's kind of the same thing. So we can't keep constantly using medication. So like when I'm sick, medicine is like my last resort. I try to do everything herbal first before I start to take any type of medicine.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you
For
something.
real.
Does that work?
What, the herbs?
Yeah, does the herbs normally work?
If I catch it soon enough.
So basically, you can't take the herbs if you've already gotten into
For
the.
me, it doesn't work. If it's too
Well, I'm guessing the thing is that you should already just be taking
The
them
herbs,
anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and that's part of your lifestyle.
building up your immune system, but
Just like,
yeah.
you take your swig of your apple cider vinegar, which Paige put me on the Goldie. And they are really good.
Yeah, and doing your elderberries and your oil of oregano's, which I think gets more of that. Your oil of oregano's and this and that and all these different things. And even for me, that was me. Like I ended up getting sick. This is my second time being sick this year, but first time being sick since I started doing oil of oregano. But I ran out, and so I wasn't able to take it like daily like I normally was. And so that's the thing about the herbs. You have to make sure that you're taking it daily. Like you can't really fall off. Like you got to make sure you're consistent with
and
it.
the vitamins are good. The vitamins are good.
Yep, it is. But
CMOS. That's all I take.
yes,
Yeah,
sea moss
is
too.
good.
CMOS and some Battle Rack.
Sea moss too. But yeah, so my challenge to people in 2021 is just try to heal some of your ailments through diets. Not a diet, but through your eating diet.
Right.
You know,
Right.
start incorporating more fruits and vegetables. Try some of those super fruits and super veggies and super foods and juices and different things. It's nothing wrong with wanting to indulge, but just have one cheat meal, a week or something.
Try not to cheat at all, okay? That's what you need. That's what you need to do. All right, you need to try not to cheat at all, because again, look, okay. So this is what you wanna. This is what we want to do, right? We don't want to get into the habit, and we'll probably come back with this, but we don't want to, because we got a break. But we don't want to get into the habit of starting something and then figuring out a way to cheat it, right? We don't want that. We don't even want cheat in our vocabulary. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to kind of like wean away from that and just say, you know what? Some days I'm not gonna, be,
You gonna cheat.
I'm not. Some
gonna
days
mess
I'm not gonna. Some days I'm gonna mess up. Or just say that. Every day not gonna be a perfect day. That's what you say. You don't manifest the
Have a
cheating
flex.
days.
Have a flex
Yeah.
diet.
You don't manifest cheating days. Oh, I'm gonna cheat on this diet one day. What day that is? I
many
don't know
people
yet.
say
But you
they
know
have a
what?
cheat
I'm gonna do it. Don't set
No,
yourself
it's
up like
like
that. Don't set yourself up
well,
like that.
I
Is what
would
I'm
say,
saying.
look into the flexitarian diet. That's what I would say. Look into the
Flexitarian?
Yeah, no, for real. Look at because
They come up with all kind of stuff.
no, look
We're going to talk about the flexitarian diet when we come back, y'all, after this break. We'll be right back to talk about flexitarian diets.
We'll be back at 9.
All right, now we're back, and we are back. All right, folks.
We back. So when we left, we were talking about just having a better diet, taking care of yourself, all of those good things.
And a plastic diet. That's what you was calling it.
No, the flexitarian diet.
Oh, not plastic. Oh, okay.
Here's another one.
Yep.
Plastic.
Actually, if you go to healthline.com, they actually
Who come up with this
explain it.
stuff?
Somebody. And WebMD talks about it too.
Who come up with this?
So you know, some of these reputable sites
Bullshit in
that
here, ain't it?
talk about health have have information on it. So the flexitarian diet basically. It's a style of eating that encourages mostly plant-based foods while allowing meat and other animal products in moderation. It's more flexible than fully vegetarian or vegan diets.
Right.
If you're looking to add more plant foods to your diet but don't want to completely cut out meat, going flexitarian may be for you. So it's really, having eating mostly. It says eating mostly fruits, vegetables, mostly fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. Focus on proteins from plants instead of animals. Be flexible. Incorporate meat and animal products from time to time.
Right.
Eat the least processed, most natural forms of food, and limit added sugars and sweets. And so when you do eat meat, focus on organic meats, grass-fed, the highest quality meats possible.
Boar's Head.
No,
The
that's still processed.
Thank you.
Oh, I
That's
thought you was
still-
talking about Boar's Head.
With the commitment without the commitment. It's
So
flexitarian.
so that's the flexitarian diet.
Or hokey pokey. Sometimes you're in, sometimes you're out.
So for
Yeah,
instance,
that's
if you're gonna eat
That's
eggs,
what you do.
eat free range or pasture raised eggs. Poultry should be organic, free range, or pasture raised. Fish, wild caught. Let me repeat that: wild caught, not farm.
Not farm raised.
Not farm raised. Meat, grass fed or pasture raised, and dairy, organic from grass fed or pastured animals. So some people just either there's some conditions that they have don't allow for them to be fully vegan or vegetarian.
They need red meat.
No, I'm gonna say they need red meat, but they need higher levels of
Protein.
Yeah.
Also.
And do y'all think we get protein from meat?
You don't get.
You get it from plants. Because
Okay.
some people need
Okay,
certain
then.
things.
Because the broccoli
Like
got more
vitamin
protein than a piece of
B12,
chicken.
for instance.
Broccoli ain't got no
Yes,
damn
broccoli.
protein in it.
Yes,
Broccoli
it
has
do.
a lot of protein.
Broccoli has more protein than meat. Do.
It's higher in
The chicken.
protein.
I thought it was nope, not that one.
But you have some people who can't have certain vegetables or
Right.
certain type of things. So the thing is, no diet works for everybody.
Hmm.
There are people who have been vegan and have had to not be vegan anymore.
Right.
There are people who've been meat eaters who have to be vegan. So there's not one diet that fits for everybody. There's got some people that have the blood type diet where you eat based on your blood type. And some blood types you eat meat, some blood types you don't.
Right.
So you really there is no one size fit all. Like CMOS, for instance. CMOS is great, but people with thyroid conditions can't have CMOS.
What does that come from?
What?
A thyroid condition.
I don't know where it comes from, but
Yeah.
I know that it exists.
It
And-
hinders you from processing things like.
Well, there's two different type of thyroid conditions. One is hyperthyroidism, where your thyroid is overactive, and then you have hypothyroidism, where it's underactive. And having a family member. Well, actually, you know what? Wendy Williams and Missy Elliott have hyperthyroidism.
Yeah.
It's Graves' disease. And if you notice, they've had to basically. Wendy Williams had to take time off. Missy is not where she used to be because it's a disease that you're constantly dealing with. You actually have to take have your thyroid removed or have it radioactively destroyed by pills. And then you have to take pills for the rest of your life to regulate your metabolism, your body temperature, and all those different things. It's a very serious disease.
Yeah.
But it was just discovered recently that people who have thyroid issues can't have CMOS. The lady said she almost died She was doing the sea moss, whatever, and next thing you know, she almost died, and that was what the issue was. And so every supplement, every
Ain't for
thing doesn't
everybody.
work for everybody. People have very unique diseases and just makeup of their body.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same.
Yeah, even with the vitamins, they tell you, like you say, you got to consult your
They say
physician
consult
about it
your
because
physician.
You don't
Exactly.
know what's what.
So everything doesn't work for everybody. So we latch on to these diets and we say like, or these supplements or whatever, and we say like they're the holy grail. But at the end of the day, you still have to check with your doctor because people do have conditions and diseases, and regardless of where the diseases come from, they exist, and everything isn't going to work for those different things.
This is true.
So it's just, and so we have to get to that place of not shaming people because they may have to eat meat or because they can't eat meat or whatever. It just is what it is.
Right. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
That's why people reacting different.
Go get your thyroid check, okay?
Definitely go get your thyroid checked. People don't. The thyroid is a major. I want to say it's a gland. Major. It's responsible for a lot of like the regulation of your body temperature, metabolism, a lot of things.
Output.
Yeah.
So
So you definitely want to
you
make sure you
functioning.
have a healthy thyroid. That junk is not good, at all.
At all.
No, not at all. Like I've seen firsthand what happens when your thyroid is not functioning properly. Like that, it is serious. I mean, everything. When I say everything shuts down, if they call it a thyroid storm, everything shuts down.
Everything.
It's very scary. So
I thought, I think Dick Gregory said you get thyroid problems from perms.
Say what?
Perms.
Perms.
Oh, sir, I've never heard of that.
Perms give you thyroid problems.
I don't know
I've
nothing about
never
that
heard
now.
of that at all.
Yeah.
Perms?
Perms.
I don't know nothing about that.
I'm saying I ain't never heard that before.
I'm sorry. Perms.
'Cause I'm
Now,
just
I will say they do say perms have certain hormones and things in them, and like like
Throws the equilibrium and the balance off.
if you look at little
yeah,
girls
head. I mean, that's a chemical.
when
right
we were
there.
growing up to girls now, they're different. And so there's a lot of hormones and different things in the hair products and the relaxers and things like that that can affect you. So I would say the hormones could probably throw off your thyroids because your thyroid, it regulates hormones. So I could see where it could probably affect it in that
But yeah, I
in
never.
some way.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
So, but yeah, so just I would say this year, make your health a priority. Make your health a major priority
You better.
this year because when you talk about assets, right? Your health is one of your greatest assets. And so, in the same way that we invest our money, we need to invest in our health.
Right. 'Cause if you laying in the hospital bed, you won't be able to do nothing.
If 2020
At
didn't
all.
teach you anything, so Vicky said, but what if you never had a perm? I would think if you never had a perm, that that wouldn't
Yeah, that
you wouldn't be affected in that way. Now, does that mean you would never have a thyroid issue? I don't know because there's hormones and so many different things. But I do know that there have been studies that show that like certain hair products and relaxers and things do contribute to girls having higher hormones than normal, but I wouldn't say it's like the source of a thyroid issue.
Well, it's not. It may not be the source, but it helps.
It contributes.
It contributes. Yeah.
I mean, long term use.
Right. Long-term usage. Yep. And you wonder why some people walk around here, always mad. Always we got an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Because they brain on fire. They brain done, you know what I'm saying, done suck some of that perm juice in, and now it's seeping through to the brain when you let it sit on there for 20 minutes. Yeah. And you do that over so many years. Just think about it,
Y'all
y'all.
can see my eyes rolling.
Just think about it. You done perm, you done burnt something into your, you know. So
I've seen
think
where
about
the
it.
perm has burnt the scalp, for
Oh, yeah.
years of usage.
Oh yeah, it's going down into that brain too. It's seeping in to the bloodline, the bloodstream, all that. If you can put medical stuff on you and medical and get into your skin, you should know that perm when it's heating up, it's definitely going in there.
They say it's harmful long-term perm usage.
Yeah.
It's harmful.
It tell you.
The hair itself,
And
scalp.
and
Yeah,
thyroids.
like
It
I
burns
think
it. It's
about those
chemical.
days when, the hair is the perm is burning, but you let it burn just a little bit because you know
want
it's gonna be
straight.
straighter.
And then you be itching
Man,
later.
not just itching. You have a whole
Yeah.
like
burn.
yes, like a scab.
Right.
Uh-huh.
In your
And you
scalp.
get your hair up in that
Yes,
section.
so you have like a
Scab
whole
now.
scab. That thing done burned
Every woman
over.
done been through it, boy. Look here.
So you mean to tell me that that's okay? That ain't
No.
nothing. You ain't gonna get no kind of effects from that
We're not
over
saying it's
years
not-
and
it's
years.
I'm
okay.
not advocating for relaxers. I've been natural for
I ain't
11
one in
Okay.
years. I think this is year 12. I've been natural, so
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for relaxers in any
And
way,
don't-
shape,
You
and-
or
just know
form.
the effects of them.
And watch out for your little girls, man. Let them be natural.
I don't.
Cause if I'm telling you, you start trying to straighten it and so it can look good for church Sunday, the baby gonna have a hard time growing.
Well, I will say since natural, so let's see, I bought natural in 2009, so that was still when it wasn't cool. I think at the time there were a few products out like Shea Moisture
It wasn't hot
and
at the time.
things like that, but it still wasn't a lot.
Right.
But I've seen how it has changed over the years, and now there's more natural products than you can even think of.
Right. Right.
But at the time, it was limited. You had the small little section in Target that you could go to, and that was about it. But now it's just everywhere you look, there's natural something
I say
everywhere.
it's trending now.
Yeah,
so
it's a trend.
everywhere. Everybody making products.
And now you have even so the idea of the whole crochet and this and that. Back in the day when we were growing up, crochet was ugly.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
It was not.
It was raggedy. And typically you didn't get crochet. It was like, I don't want my head looking like that. And so now you have these protective styles like crochet, and now they make it specific, like so many different styles of hair. And there's so many techniques you can use. So when you look at the techniques, when you look at the lace fronts, when you look at so much new technology beyond just braids and sew-ins, there's not a need for relaxers as much as it was back in the day. If you want straight hair today, you throw on a wig, a nice wig. Back in the day, the wig was for grandma.
Right.
It wasn't for, the us. Down, the wigs are for everybody. You got 16, 17-year-olds wanting a wig.
Yeah, the little
And
short
so-
one back in the day looking like Sonic.
Or, for instance, if you want that blowout look, you just throw some weave in your hair, throw in some crochet, and you blow out the crochet. Like, there's so many options that you have now that you don't really have to have a relaxer if you don't want to. So more people are, allowing their babies to stay natural. The idea of having your afro puffs or, your curly afros or whatever, it's in. And the products that allow you to maintain that hair is in as well. Back in the day, it was this big push to straighten your hair. So there wasn't a lot of products to help you maintain it and make it look nice and manageable. A lot of people got relaxers because it made it easier to do the hair. Because let me tell you something.
Right.
If you going natural thinking it's going to be less hair maintenance, you in for a rude awakening.
Exactly.
Natural hair is a lot of work.
It's a lot, as you can see.
Well,
As you can see.
it's still a lot of work when you have those wigs and all those lace fronts and things like that as well. It's still a lot of work.
I mean,
because once you get it put on for a day or two, the sticker, the glue start coming up, the makeup start flaking. You know what I'm saying? And caking, flaking and caking.
Yeah,
And-
everything
and
has
then-
maintenance, but some people
and that's
go
what I'm
natural
saying.
Some
saying,
are
I just
easier
want to
than
get up
others.
and go.
Right.
And get up and go isn't as simple. Okay, so like I'm not gonna lie, like my hair is really get up and go. Like I get up, I do this,
I'm just saying you put your hand
And
in
I
it,
go.
though. Yeah.
but
Some
you know,
people
I still
don't.
gotta wash it, put product on it, and all that stuff. I
Mhm.
will say the wash and go really is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky said, "Child 4C hair is a task." Believe me.
What?
So-
Thank you, Vicky.
so,
Woo.
For me,
4C.
but that's the
What's
thing.
the
You
task?
have 4C hair. So you
Like,
have
that's what you're looking at over here. 4C hair.
Yeah.
Both
You
here.
have very different. So mine is 3C,
Mm-hmm.
and so the higher the number, the less of the curl.
What about that 8C?
There is no
I'm
8C.
just saying, I never-
4C is
7C?
the highest. 4C
never
is the highest.
Oh, that's 7A and no, not 7A, but 7
4C is the
7
highest.
something. They be having what's the weed? What's the
Those,
weed?
I think they
Those
talking
are
about
colors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
not-
what it is.
The hair texture.
But yeah, so
I got
Yeah,
4C.
B1. Can I get a B1, please?
Yeah, that's the
B1
color.
2022.
1B.
Yeah, B1.
B1 1B.
That's off black.
You know what I'm saying? Let me get a B1, please.
And then that 2 was a little brown. The 4
Yeah.
is like an ashy brown. Look, this is a person that had a lot of braids.
A lot of braids.
Jet black.
Yeah, because my mama used to do hair, and she had 3 girls. So
And it's
you know,
crazy because
we
I
had
know how to
have
do
them.
color. I'm a good color, y'all. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? I'm
Oh,
a
they can
damn
say
good
that.
colorer.
Ray is a 3C2 is a whole blessing. It is a whole blessing.
Yeah, with the
Cause now it's a whole blessing for me for short hair.
Mm-hmm.
Long hair, what I don't like about 3C hair is it knots. Those little, it's like these little fairy knots, I call them, because you can't see them, but it's knotted. Like you can't comb through the hair. And so the longer the hair, the more matted and knotted the
Yeah.
hair becomes. and
That's how
it's
them little
just-
boys have be when they come in the shop.
Yeah.
And they do not like to get their hair cut.
It just becomes
I'm
a
tender
chore.
head.
And then the mama be like, just let it grow. I be looking at them like, y'all don't know what kind of trouble you gonna get
4C
into.
hair when you wash it and you let it air dry. Woo!
That thing kink up like
No other.
like
It's
little
just a
beetles
chore.
up there.
No other.
So for me, I
Beetle head.
I
I
prefer
remember little
short
beetle
hair,
head.
That long hair, because I used to have big curly afro, but no
That's
thank you.
that's one of them. That's one of them kids back in the day used to have. You know the hair rolled up so much the way you can see the scalp between every
The BB
roll.
shots,
Yeah,
knots,
you can see the
rolled up knots
scalp.
and BB
You
shots.
can see the scalp between every roll. You can basically sit there and count his BBs.
Like he did it. Like
yeah,
he made it.
like you did this, bro. You rolled it up yourself.
Like
and
Kevin
did that.
Durant.
Psh, look here, man.
Can you explain to
Kids.
me why his head looked like that?
Because he look here, man.
Well, you know that
I don't
back
know.
In the day, that
You-
hairstyle that was called a
I have no
porcupine
idea.
or the
Give me
pineapple.
your barber expertise. Why does Kevin Durant hair look like that?
Kevin Durant is on a mission
He
right
don't
now.
brush
He ain't
it.
thinking about getting no
You gotta-
haircut.
You gotta brush it, right? You gotta
No, he
train
got
it.
a no. It's
Why
grown
does it look like that?
because he got that 4C. What do you mean? He got that
He got a
4C.
low 4C.
He got a low 4C. Yeah.
That's a 7A right there.
See what I'm saying? Some outrageous, man.
Yeah,
Well, he got
that's
he
a
got that
7A
he
right
got that
there.
4C
You
up
have to
there.
edge me up right here 'cause I'm looking.
See what I'm
coming
saying?
out of
She got that
COVID.
4C.
That's a
She got to be edged up too.
so
Got to use extra sharp blades on that 4C, y'all. Okay, because it will tear your clippers up.
no, you don't.
Anyway.
Extra
Actually,
sharp.
so when you look at coarse hair versus fine hair,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, I want to say, is it 4?
Fine hair gets stuck into your fingers, into your skin and stuff like that. So when I'm cutting a lot of Latinos or Asians and Caucasians, their hair is so fine it gets stuck in my fingers sometimes. You know.
So you saying
Pointy.
your nail, your jagged nail, pulls it. There you go.
Not my nail. Yeah, my you saying when I get it in there? Yeah, I grab some tweezers.
Gotcha.
Cause it get sometimes you get a few of them. But yeah, they have some real
so
straight,
No, actually,
strong
I
hair.
was just making sure I was right.
Mm-hmm.
4C hair, is actually more delicate than the finer hair, the lower grade hair. It's actually more delicate. I was just making sure I was right.
So yeah, so the 4C hair, what it do is it roll up, but then it got these other little hairs sticking around it like it's fur. That's what it is.
So Vicky said,
I
"Hey
just know mine
Stephanie,
is
we
tightly
miss
curled,
you too."
and it's
Vicky said, "Yes, please
Look at that.
explain Kevin Durant's hair. He can't get waves. Yes, can you, as the
Kevin
barber
Durant-
expert,
Kevin
That's what I'm
Durant-
saying,
explain his hair?"
Kevin
He don't
Durant got
brush.
4C hair. He's not thinking about combing it.
He
no time
really get
soon.
up and go, right?
Yeah, he really get up and go. He really get up and go.
I mean,
Lint in it and
ooh,
everything.
Lord. I mean, that thing is horrible. Then he got a big old bald spot in the middle.
He
He
looking
can't
like
get some topic in there in the middle or something.
he looking like
trying to do
a
nothing
more
but
messed
play
up
ball.
version of LeBron James right now.
So will a brush not help that?
No,
Why?
nothing will help it but him going bald. He need to go bald.
Well, he got a lumpy head, so I don't think that's gonna look right.
That's what he got to do. He got to go bald. He don't had a low cut before. That way he need to go back to the low
To
cut.
the low cut
Yeah,
and just start brushing
and
it.
just
change
and
it.
let that
I
be
mean,
that.
Train it.
And let that be that, man.
He
Yeah,
look
brush.
like, woo, Lord.
Let that be
As
that.
soon as he get up in the morning, we need to start the brushing.
That's it.
But he
Train
got
that hair.
That's
He
it.
got
I gotta look at Kevin Durant hair. I ain't
He
seen
look
it.
like he homeless. I'm not trying to even be funny. The man look homeless. With
Hey.
that big bald spot in his head.
Hey,
I mean, we know he's not homeless, and we know he has lots of money, but he need to do something about this thing. He look like the uncle on the corner who be drunk.
Look, he can. He's like, all right, y'all, let's go ball.
Come on, Kevin.
let's just go bald.
Um,
Okay.
Let's go ball.
So guys, I wanted to let you know today is Carver Day. January 5th is Carver Day, and if you're not sure who Carver is, George Washington Carver. He created the peanut butter. While a professor at Tuskegee Institute, Carver developed techniques to improve soils depleted by repeated plantings of cotton. He wanted poor farmers to grow other crops such as peanuts and sweet potatoes as a source of their own food and to improve their quality of life. The most popular of his 44 practical bulletins where farmers contained 105 food recipes using peanuts. Although he spent years developing and promoting numerous products made from peanuts, none became commercially successful. I mean, peanut butter did.
Nah.
All right, Carver Day.
Yeah, so happy Carver Day, guys. Didn't even know that January 5th
George
is Carver
Washington
Day.
Carver
Today
Day.
is also, now let me make sure.
George Washington Carver Day.
Today is J5 Day, so happy Founders Day to the Kappas.
Oh, okay.
Kappa Alpha Psi. I want to say the Alphas were yesterday.
Oh, my dad's a Kappa.
So happy Founders Day to them.
All right.
And I want to say the Alphas was Alphas yesterday? I wasn't really on Facebook yesterday, so I wasn't really paying attention, but Alphas, were they yesterday or are they tomorrow?
So,
Oh,
this-
no, sorry. They was in December, sorry. So, no, Kappas, happy Founders Day to them.
happy Founders Day to the Kappas. I have a few Kappa friends. You know what I'm saying? And AK relatives and things like that. I just don't know what the hell. What in the? I mean, you join these fraternities, right? And you go to college, and majority of the time that's where it's shown, and y'all out there exhibiting your little sets and your dances and your steps and your stuff like that, right? But then it's just funny, man. I mean, I guess they work in silos, I guess, like everybody else, because it's hard to find these brothers.
Let me give you a
You know what I'm
history.
saying? It's hard to find these brothers
Let me
when
just
you
say,
trying to do some stuff in the community, or
right.
you know,
They're already
it's
That is-
established group.
Right.
yeah. So I mean, it's just hard. I mean, they might be doing stuff across the nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to discredit them for doing what
Right.
they do.
Well, it's like any other thing. Okay, so you have these are national organizations,
Right.
And you have local chapters,
Okay.
and there are some local chapters that do a lot,
And some
and
that
there's
just
some
don't
that
do
don't.
nothing.
So, like, okay, I I'm a Sigma Gamma Rho.
Mm-hmm.
I crossed at Vanderbilt in Tennessee.
Right.
So for me, my experience was like, okay, so the grad chapter that was in charge of us, they had a lot of past grand presidents that were that were members, a lot of high level people who had served on a national level. So because of that, and we had people who were still running for high offices and things like that. So because of that, we were very active.
Right.
I'm talking about like my experience was crazy. Like I was traveling all over, going to different places, going to different conferences, just really active, doing a lot of things, traveling to, see different probates or different founders weeks or different things, like supporting organizations. Now, when I first joined, that was back in 2009. Um, Florida was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember FSU and USF. They had a lot going on. And we always used to say, like, dang, the Florida sorors are so hype and they have so much going on and they have so much whatever. Like, now, like, having moved to Florida, I was a little disappointed because I was like, well, it wasn't what I expected.
Right. Right.
Now
It was too hot down here.
No.
Oh.
It wasn't what I was expected. No.
It's too hot.
No. What I'm saying is Greek life wasn't what I
I
expected.
know what you're saying.
In Tennessee, it was always something.
Right.
Greeks were always coming together. They were always kicking it. We were always doing something, whether it was a party, community service.
Is this after college?
No, this is during college.
That's what I'm saying. After.
But it was with a lot of the grad chapters and things like that.
Okay.
So it was a huge thing. I don't know what it's like in Tennessee now. So it may all just not be the same.
Right.
It was 11 years ago.
Right.
12 years ago. And so I remember coming here and being a little disappointed, like, oh man, like what's going on? It's not what I expected, and then even like finding out about the local chapters here, like, oh, well, what events do you do? What are you guys doing? Blah, blah, blah. It's just the presence is so different. Back in Tennessee, there was always step shows. There was just always a big presence, regardless of what was happening. And so come here, and when I came here, it was right in the midst of like the Trayvon Martin stuff and all these different things. That would, to me, would have been the perfect time for the chapters to really kind of band together and show some solidarity, because you got to look at the history of these organizations and why they were founded, scholarship, service, all these different things. And I think it really comes down to the people. I think sororities and fraternities, a lot of them, especially the undergrad chapters, have become about stepping and strolling and wearing your letters. And they have forgotten why they were founded initially. And so I think when you look at, the founders look at some of the stuff that's happening now, the hazing, the suspensions and all these different things, they probably would be disappointed. Like, my sorority was founded at Butler University in the midst of the surge of the KKK. So, for us, it was about protection, and having some type of solidarity there. So when you look at why they were formed and when they were formed, you're talking about 1922, 1911, 1906, like, during some, like, before civil rights time. So, these organizations were pivotal to the Black community. And so now with so much social injustice and so much happening, it's almost disappointing for it to be so quiet. Now, on the national level, there are things happening. There were, meetings with, NCAA, NAACP, and, the, the Urban League and things like that. But on the local level, you have, I have to say the Deltas are very active. They do a lot. I've seen them doing like coffee and conversations and different things like that. AKAs, I would say they're fairly active, I guess, too. But I think in St. Pete, the Deltas are, where you see most. But in terms of fraternities, I guess the Kappas, no, the the sigmas. The sigmas. I would say the sigmas. The sigmas. Yes. The sigmas
Sigmas?
are yes.
Yeah,
The
the
sigmas
sigmas.
are very active.
That's the boys in blue, ain't it?
Yeah, the
Right.
sigmas are very active. Then they do a great
Shout out
job,
to
very
Onago
great
Joe.
job with the Sigma Beta Club and all of that. So yeah, the sigmas are very active and they do a great job. And kudos to them. I mean,
Okay, then
anytime,
give it up for the Sigmas then.
especially when it comes to youth.
One time for the
I
Sigmas.
love what they're doing with the Sigma Beta
What
Club.
the hell, you Kappas and
anytime.
Q Dogs?
The Kappas, I've seen them do a couple of things, but
Around
not
here?
a few things.
Around here?
Yeah, I've seen them do a few things, but not as much as the Sigmas.
Like what have you seen
okay,
the Kappas
so-
do around here?
Well, they did that big race last year in downtown, the downtown relay.
They did?
Yeah, that was the Kappas. They just made it really quiet.
Oh.
But it was the Kappas. They didn't advertise it that
Was
way.
that for the Aubrey thing? I think that was for the Aubrey
They
thing.
did something for the Aubrey thing, but that wasn't for the Aubrey thing. That was not last year. It was 2019. Excuse me. Or was it? Yeah, it was 2019. But anyway, so but yeah. So when you talk about being active, I know the Sigmas did some stuff with our fatherhood initiative when we were doing that. So I would say, yeah, they're pretty active.
Okay.
But to me, I feel like it doesn't matter about your color or your organization. Like, you know, it's about our community.
Mhm.
And, you know, it's a time for us to just really come together and do more, regardless of what organization you're a part of, in my opinion. So, yeah, I would say for me, it has been a little disappointing. I will say my sorority, Sigma Gamma Rose, the chapter in, I think, Lakeland did a lot of work around the election. And they were like, you know, meeting with some candidates and did some online things and stuff like that. So, you know, they were doing some things there. I think a lot of it is just like anything else. For whatever, as Black people, we can't get past the drama.
Right.
And that affects how we act. So then you have all these extra chapters coming about. This chapter don't mess with this chapter. This person don't do this. There's a lot of turmoil within the organizations themselves. So then if you got intra-turmoil,
Right.
intra-turmoil, then you're definitely going to have inter-turmoil between you and other organizations. So I think it's just like anything else. We as the Black community have to do some real self-evaluation. Why is it that no matter what group we're in, church group, band group, community service, whatever, there's drama?
Because somebody got to feel some
And
type
so-
of way.
And it makes it very difficult.
I got to feel this type of way because I don't like that.
It makes it very difficult for us to get stuff done
Right.
because ego.
Ego, pride.
Yeah,
Yep.
all that stuff.
And then a lot of times, you know, people aren't used to change or aren't used to transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Transitions. That's one thing I learned too, that people don't like to be uncomfortable. They don't like to not know what's going on. They always want to know, well, what's next? What's next? What's this? What's this? What's this? And there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just a lot of times that can be frustrating to have to always explain to somebody. You know what I'm saying? However, but you know, it's just, you know.
But I did see, I'm doing this book, and yesterday the book was about communication, and it was like, you know, communication, sometimes you have to over-explain. As frustrating as it is.
And it's crazy that you say that because I was just watching something and some say sometimes you have to over-communicate.
Yeah.
Over-communicating. And if you want to get something out, over-communicate sometimes is the best solution too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, it goes back to, like I was saying, the transition change. People like to be in their comfort zone and shut down, you know.
Because, you know, like
Which
for
is
me, I like
a
to be
safe
like,
space.
okay, just to clarify, I just want to make sure.
This what you
This is
mean.
what- right. Then let's say, so another thing, asking clarifying questions. That was another tool. And so I always
Also
like
repeating what someone says.
Exactly.
Repeat back to them what
they
just
said.
so
Right.
they can
Yeah.
hear it. Like,
exactly.
okay, this is
Just
how it
making
came
sure
to me.
you want la 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 la.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Our pride and egos prevent us from doing that. We just be like, sure.
Yeah.
And then we be like, what the heck did they just say? Or I wasn't half listening. Or I don't really understand, you know, because we can say something and think it's just understood.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other people looking like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And then you're thinking, well, why can't you understand? Why can't you just explain it better?
Right.
Or even say, hey, I'm struggling explaining this. Let me try to give you the best. Let's figure it out together.
Yeah,
Let's come to a happy medium to make sure you understand. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I think it's really important that we over explain and we make time for that. Because communication is very important, and a lot of relationships, doesn't matter whether they're romantic, friends, business, whatever, have broken down because of miscommunication.
Yes, they have. And I mean, you make a great point when you say broken down. The thing is, the lack of communication, the breakdown in the communication seems to, you know, override the, like you were saying, the pride and ego, but it also stops a lot of growth. So, you know, people, it's just 2021, okay? You know, learn how to over explain and over communicate.
My thing is, in 2021, I feel like
Don't stay quiet.
everybody's goal is to be better.
That should have been your goal since you've been
It
born.
should have been, but just be better.
Every year.
Reflect on 2020 and look at the things that you learned,
Every
things
year.
that you lost, the lessons that you were taught, and how do I take all of that, how do I take all of those things and just be better? Tony said, hey, Tony, how you doing? Ain't heard from you in a while. Happy New Year. Tony said, and sometimes pride will not allow people to admit that they don't understand things they feel they should understand. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I know sometimes I don't understand stuff, but you know what? You have to ask some questions. Ask the right people.
Ask the question either.
You know what I mean?
Scared to ask questions.
You know, and like I said,
it's a crazy
pride
question.
and the fear of, they're going to think that I'm stupid or whatever, let them. If you
Let
think
'em.
I'm dumb because I
And-
need to ask another question, oh, well.
And don't be afraid to ask more than one person if the person that you ask doesn't give you the information that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? That's what people tend to do as well. They'll stop, seeking the information or the truth, and they'll just take whatever assumptions they may have, or whatever little experience that they may have, and go with that. But yeah, you just have to, like Tony was saying, you have to make sure that you understand what you're talking about, especially if
and
you're
one thing I read
expressing yourself.
in the book yesterday about communication, it said you will create less frustration by just saying what you need to say and getting it out than holding it in, thinking that you don't want to rock the boat.
Right.
Just say it.
Rock the boat.
Just say what you need to say.
Yeah, and people gotta understand a lot of this is for your own peace of mind.
Yeah.
So
Say what you need to say and let the chips fall where they may. But it's better than just trying to hold it in and pretending everything is okay and, allowing that miscommunication to continue. Just say what needs to be said and just face it head on.
right.
We're adults.
That's right.
Face it head on. Just be willing to deal with the consequences. A lot of people lie or don't say things because they don't want to deal with the consequences. Conflict is okay. It's just how you conflict. But I always say conflict promotes change. It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay, but you better make sure you know how to get out of it.
It's definitely okay. So that's my spiel. Oh, so one thing I wanted to mention, just some updates on the coronavirus vaccine. So one thing that's happening now, so y'all know we talked about the fact that with the coronavirus vaccine, you have to get 2 doses. The first dose, 50%.
Right.
The next dose is 95%. Well, Moderna is coming out with a vaccine that's 100%.
So it's a
Effective.
one-hit quitter.
I don't know if it's a 1 or 2 step process,
okay.
but I just know it's 100% effective. But what they're doing now, they've started the rollout of the vaccine. And Pinellas County, they're doing it. But, of course, in true Florida fashion, it's a slow rollout. And so now, and I was watching the news yesterday. It was so sad. You had all the old people, because it's elderly that are and immune compromised that are being prioritized. All the people outside in the cold, in their wheelchairs and all this stuff, waiting to get this vaccine. Um,
And they
but
outside in the
now,
cold.
what they're deciding to do for people that are 18 to 55,
Yeah.
they decided to only give the one dose of the vaccine.
One dose.
Just one, and that's
What's
it.
up with
Not even
these
the second
people?
one that you need
Right.
to
What's up with these
finish
people?
out the process.
Yes. Talking
So
about
now they
because
cutting corners.
yep, already. Now they're saying, well, we want we want.
What's up with these people, man?
Next, they're gonna be one needle for two people.
Go ahead. Stick the whole family.
I'm just this one needle is for all of you guys.
Stick the whole family with that one needle. We don't have enough.
Yeah,
to go
it's
around.
starting to get crazy.
And they wonder why we are skeptical of all of this.
Because
you
they're
know, the
they're still
uncertainty,
experimenting.
That's what I'm, yes.
They're
that's-
still experimenting. Typically, when the vaccine comes out, they've been through
A
the
trial.
trial. They've done all these
trial
things.
on the human.
Right, and now this is the full rollout. They're still experimenting in real time.
That's right.
'Cause
On people.
The rat's still running in the maze.
They still
in the lab.
doing this on people. Experiment, y'all. Okay?
It's too much.
So
You won't get me.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. So the Moderna one, the one that's 100%, they're considering when that rolls out to give a half. But the FDA is saying that you must get both. You must have both full doses as of Monday, but they've been playing around. I saw it yesterday. On Monday, they were playing around with giving only one dose.
So give one dose to see what it do. If that's all they need to give, we'll see. Basically, that's what they're saying.
So it says, okay, so Operation Warp Speed's top advisor, Moncef Slaoui, told CNN Sunday that the FDA would consider giving half doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine to people 18 to 55, which could make the vaccine available to twice as many people in this age group. He also said earlier data shows that the vaccine appeared to elicit effective antibody responses among volunteers under age 55 who received either the full 100 microgram dose or half dose. While an FDA briefing document last month references these comparable immune responses from the Moderna's phase 2 study, the data has not been fully published. But Marks and Hahn has said that the findings covered only a very few people who were not followed for long to see if their immune responses held up over time. So that's the thing. So when we talk about the virus only lasting for 2 months, that's because the people were only monitored for 2 months.
Right,
It
right,
could
right.
be that the vaccine lasts longer than 2 months, but they don't know.
Right.
And so the thing is, what's the rush? What is the rush? If you know that the vaccine takes 18 to 24 months, why not just do it right the first time than to get it wrong the first time?
Well, that's the thing with beta testing. Sometimes they get put out a little too early. And sometimes we don't get the results that we're looking for. We was talking about this earlier on. I think in another show about how we heard a family, face freezing up.
Oh, they was no, it was 4 people had Bell's palsy
Huh? After taking the vaccine?
after taking the vaccine.
So 4 people don't call Bell's palsy after taking the vaccine. They got stuck with the same needle. I think they
their
got stuck
bodies just-
with the same needle. I mean, look here, man. If you hearing stories like this, and this is what I'm saying about. I was talking about the medicine earlier about how doctors give you these medicines and you have all these side effects. You see what I'm saying? However, we've been banning things like marijuana, which is a natural herb. You see what I'm saying? We ban certain natural remedies.
So the cause of so let me break down what Bell's palsy is, and then we'll talk about what the cause of
The
Bell's
face
palsy.
shift.
So Bell's palsy is a condition that causes a temporary weakness or paralysis of the muscles in the face. It can occur when the nerve that controls your facial muscles become inflamed, swollen, or compressed. The condition causes one side of your face to droop or become stiff. You may have difficulty smiling or closing your eye on the affected side. In most cases, Bell's palsy is temporary and symptoms usually go away after a few weeks. It can occur at any age. The condition is more common among people between the ages of 16 and 60. The causes of Bell's palsy. So, Bell's palsy occurs when the seventh cranial nerve becomes swollen or compressed, resulting in facial weakness or paralysis. So, the vaccine must be affecting that seventh, cranial nerve. The exact cause of this damage is unknown, but many medical researchers believe it's most likely triggered by a viral infection. So either herpes, HIV, sarcoidosis, the herpes zoster virus, which causes chickenpox and shingles.
I was gonna say that some type of underlining
Yeah.
disease or something that person had. Those people.
So it's all some type of virus that could cause this or whatever. So to break down what the how the coronavirus works. This is a technology that hasn't been done before, but they're not injecting the actual virus into your system.
What they doing?
So the coronavirus has a spike protein, and that spike protein is what causes you to get sick. Like that's what causes you to get sick. So they take messenger RNA, which messenger RNA goes to your DNA to give it messages to say, or gives your body messages and say, I don't say your DNA, but it gives your body like messages to say, hey, do this thing that disappears. So basically, it's teaching the body how to recognize the spike protein, and it will respond to the spike protein if it comes in contact with it. So it's basically kind of like, oh, I remember my body. My body remembers this thing, that message that was given. Now we're gonna respond. There was a nurse that said that because this, so that was from a doctor. A nurse said that because this is a technology that's never done before, by injecting the body with this messenger RNA and causing it to, look for this spike protein, it could possibly result in autoimmune disease, where your body turns against your body. So they said, because it's a technology that hasn't been done before, it's very risky. So, I'm not going to say don't get the vaccine because once again, everybody has to look out for themselves and do what they need to do. But just be mindful, do your research. And I just wouldn't want to be in the first trial or the second trial.
Mindful that this is out there.
Yeah.
Precautions.
And just know that there's just not enough research out there yet. And so if you can avoid taking it just to kind of see, like I say, at least wait a couple of months just to see what happens.
And that's why we're stressing about masking up, hand sanitizer, not being in these groups like the huge groups.
Not be acting a fool like New Year's Eve, like acting like the virus doesn't exist. So, I would say, do your research. I'll find those two videos so we can post them. One is a doctor, breaking down how the virus works. And then the other is a nurse kind of giving her, not the virus, the vaccine works. And the nurse kind of giving her insight onto, what she thinks in terms of taking the vaccine or not. People in the medical world are going to be, they're not going to be in solidarity, just like you may have one doctor that says, hey, a vegan diet is great, and another doctor that's going to say no. So just like with anything else, there are going to be people on either side of this coin, and it's just important to educate yourself to know what the best decision is for you.
This is true.
I can go for that. I can go for that. Can go.
Right, just all of that just make you want to,
Look, man, I ain't rushing up to the line, man. I ain't trying to be number one in line. first one
observe
alive.
and say what's happening. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm scared. Like, having gotten the flu vaccine twice
Mm-hmm.
and having bad experiences. However,
Mm-hmm.
we've got growing up. We've gotten the chickenpox vaccine. We've gotten the mumps, rubella,
Yeah, all of that.
tetanus, all this, and been
The
fine.
vaccine, yeah.
So, if you think about it, for the most part, we have had a lot of vaccines growing up, the polio and all these, and we've been fine.
We who? We ain't
Just
had
if you
one.
were in school,
I was gonna say you had to do all that before you.
if you
went
in
to
public school,
preschool,
yeah,
You had to get that. They asked for that shot record.
yeah. Now a lot of
So,
those you get
everyone.
between the ages of newborn and 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I guess you could say, with that, we just play it by ear.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Well-
I guess we gotta play it by ear.
Right. And guys, don't forget to tune in tonight to Taboo Talk. That's starting at 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 on Power Plug Radio, Power Plug Facebook. And also, we are streaming on YouTube, you guys. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Power Plug TV, all one word. And you will get to hear us live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all know we get paid if y'all get us up to a lot of views. So we need 1 million views or better, okay? We need 80 million views, okay?
And
80 million views,
Thank
all
you
right?
for the support that you have been giving us. We appreciate you guys.
We definitely
Yep, so
appreciate
hit that
y'all, but we need
Subscribe
80 million
button
views,
on YouTube.
okay?
Yes, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Let
Yes,
me go
yes,
check
yes.
YouTube real quick, see where we at.
All right.
Hit the subscribe
I
button.
think we had like
the
6 now
like,
subscribers.
and,
It's climbing.
Go ahead and like it,
I believe in
subscribe,
y'all.
all those different things, share.
Did she say she believe in y'all?
Yeah.
We had 8. We had 8
All
subscribers
right.
now.
All right. I believe in my viewers. They bomb.
Yeah, so y'all keep going. Keep posting and sharing, and yeah, we can blow up on YouTube, y'all. We had a
All right.
comment. Somebody said awesome show. I don't know who this is, but okay. But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
This is Power Plug in the morning, guys. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and we is out of here.
we'll see y'all tomorrow. We have a special guest calling in tomorrow, so see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Peace out.
Peace!